Good morning, everybody. So what I want to do today was elaborate on that second video I sent yesterday, which was how to build a day that gets you to hit your numbers, right? So we're 5 weeks into the challenge, and like I said, if you don't understand this stuff, you've got to, if you want to see the change, you've got to learn it, you've got to apply it. So what I want to do is give you guys a visual breakdown of how I go about doing, hitting my numbers and making sure that I do it, right? So I've laid the numbers out that if I was trying to reduce body fat mass, because the majority of you guys doing the challenge, that's what your goal is. So you see John's calories, 2100. RBFM is reduction body fat mass. So where the 2100 comes from is, again, the in-body reading and some calculations to account for exercise. Then we break it down into protein, fats, and carbs. Again, I don't necessarily care that you understand how to get those numbers because a coach can give them for you, but what I hope you understand and what I can teach you is this, how to do this on a daily basis. Keyword in that sentence is daily basis, and do it. You have to do it. Okay, let's start with this, right? I have my breakfast, and my go-to breakfast, I just had breakfast maybe 45 minutes ago, was I had 4 eggs, over easy. I had some wheat toast, and I had a small side of bacon, right? So I know the bacon's not up there. I'll put it up there. So what I had was a fair amount of fat, right? The fat's coming from the eggs, from the bacon, and even a little bit from the toast, with how the toast is made. So I've got my protein, my fat, and my carbs. And when I put that into my FitnessPal, it'll start showing me A, how many calories I have left, but then B, how many macros I have left in those categories, protein, fats, and carbs. So again, you go to that page on my FitnessPal that looks like this. Let's see if I can get a good view of it. That looks like you guys can see. There you go, right? You can see the little graphs and what's going on there. So as I'm inputting my protein, my fat, and my carbohydrates, tell me how much I have left of those categories. All right, my snack, right? I worked out with the 5 a.m. class. So technically that snack should be up above breakfast, but at the end of the day, it's not going to be, overly important. So I had a protein shake, and in that protein shake, I put a carb additive. I add some carbs to my protein shake. That one's pretty easy to understand. It's very high in protein, it's very high in carbohydrate, and it's almost zero fat, pretty low in fat. Okay, great. I add that to my phone, and it's continuing to show me how many grams of protein I need left in the day, how many grams of carbohydrate I need in the day, how many grams of fat, right? Lunch, what I'm going to have for lunch. I'm probably going to have a balanced chef meal, chicken and rice. So again, that'll probably be a pretty good blend of protein from the chicken and a little bit of fat from the rice and predominantly carbs for the rice. So okay, that brings me to snacks and dinner, right? So what I'm going to do then is I'm going to look on my FitnessPal and see, okay, what do I have left? Okay, I've got 50 grams of fat, I've got 40 grams of protein, and I've got 50 grams of carbohydrate. Again, I'm just making these numbers up. What I need to do then is for my snack and for my dinner is I need to choose foods that fall into those categories that will get me to those amounts at the bottom, right? So what doesn't work is if I only have 10 grams of carbohydrate left and I say I'm going to have 2 cups of brown rice, my carbs will be way past 183. Same thing, if I've got 50 grams of protein left and my dinner is macaroni and cheese, I'm going to be in a deficit in the protein. So what I need to do is look at my FitnessPal and see what I have left in those categories. Where do I need the calories to come from? Is it protein? Is it fat? Is it carbs? And it may come from a little bit of each, and that's okay. So what you guys should be doing, and again, if you're learning along the way, is what foods fall into those categories so that you can make it up. So for me, my go-to proteins tend to be beef products, chicken, fish, protein powder, Greek yogurt. So if I had, a real big deficit, I needed a lot of protein, my go-to might be maybe I do a protein shake for a snack, and then for dinner, maybe I do some fish, right? But one thing to keep in mind is that very rarely do any of these only affect one area, right? So if I'm going to have salmon for dinner, we know salmon is high in protein, but it's also high in fat. So I have to take that into account, and I have to think about it. Okay, If I don't need the fat, then maybe that salmon isn't going to be salmon and it's going to be chicken, because then I still have the high protein content, but I don't have the carryover of all the extra fat, right? Okay, maybe my carbs, I need 20 grams. So 1 full cup of brown rice, right? My go-to carbohydrates are white rice, brown rice, sweet potatoes, wraps, whole wheat bread, right? So maybe I need 20 grams of carbohydrate to round out my day. I'm not going to have a full cup of brown rice. I'm going to have a half a cup of brown rice, because that'll put me to where I need to be. So again, it takes a little bit of work. It takes a little bit of thinking. And you also may need to get out of the idea of, oh, that's not a conventional dinner, right? If your conventional dinner is, well, I have to have a big serving of this, and I've got to have a protein source and my carb source. If your morning didn't put you in the position to have a traditional dinner and you want to hit your numbers, you might not have to, or you might not be able to have your traditional dinner. I've had dinners where it was, hey, look, I'm going to have 2 turkey burgers and a wrap, because I need a lot of protein and a little bit of carbs and a little bit of fat. So that's not necessarily a traditional dinner. You know, now the more you do this, you can become accustomed to it, and you can kind of build your day around it, right? You could say, hey, look, I like having more protein left at night, so maybe instead of having 4 eggs in the morning, I only have 2. Maybe instead of having a full protein shake in the morning, I have a half a protein shake. Or vice versa. You're looking at your reports, and you're looking at MyFitnessPal, and you're saying, man, I am consistently low in protein. Well, guess what? If you don't ever have this protein shake as a snack, have the protein shake. Guys, this works, and it works very well if you understand it and you apply it on a daily basis. I've said that probably out of 40 some odd videos, probably 20 of them. If you don't understand this, it's hard to apply it. If you understand it, but you still don't apply it, then what you might need is a coach for the accountability piece. But again, I was trying to really make sure you guys understand how I do this. Because if you just mindlessly eat and then plug your numbers in, you're going to be all over the place. But if you have a game plan and you understand, hey, look, at the end of the day, I want to be 5 to 10 grams above or below these numbers, then you eat according to that. So by dinner time, you're looking at what's left, and you're basing your dinner and maybe your snacks off of what's left. Not just mindlessly eating and then plugging it in and going, oh, wow, I was really high in fat and carbohydrates and really low in protein. So again, once you do it and do it for a while, it's not that bad, but you have to understand it. So I know we're 5 weeks in, but if you don't understand it, guys, ask a coach. I'll try and make some more videos. I like making the videos. So have a great day. I know this is a little longer than the normal ones, but I want you guys to succeed. And if you don't understand this concept, you're going to be spinning your wheels for a long time to come. So have a great day. If you have questions, you want a follow-up video on this, please let me know.